how y'all doing today? I am Taquila Coleman, best-selling author, certified coach, and founder of God-ordained I wanted to do a pop-up because my phone is currently charging. So I'll do a pop-up Q&A, answer another question from one of our God-ordained husbands this time. So we're going to answer the question, which is God-ordained wife, counterfeit, and pregnant. Okay, so come on in. You are jumping on live. Say hello. Let me know where you are tuning in from. For those of you who already know, our marriage prep boot camp is starting next month, September the 13th. We are going for 5 weeks strong. And the marriage prep boot camp, it just catered around, well, it's for a God-ordained spouse. Let me just say that. It's for God-ordained spouses, helping you to prepare to enter into your God-ordained marriage. Some of the things you will learn inside of the boot camp is your role as a helpmeet and also as head of the family, headship. You're also going to learn, your identity, spiritual gifts, because these things are very important. For you before you even enter into this God-ordained marriage, you need to know who you are at your core, your assignment, your function, things of that nature, the purpose of this God-ordained marriage. We also going to take you through a healing process where you are healing from rejection, the betrayal, and learning how to trust again. Because here's the thing. When God brings your God-ordained spouse back into your life, you must know the proper way to respond to them, okay? So if you're not healed or haven't dealt with the hurt and pain that came as a result of your God-ordained spouses rejecting you, right? When God sends them back, you're going to respond in all the wrong ways, which is also going to create another divine separation. So we don't want to do that, okay? We want to make sure that we are ready, we are prepared to walk into what God has already prepared for us, okay? So head over to godordainedmarriages.com/bootcamp. Sign up today. So let's jump into our question. Let me pull up the question. If you have a question you want me to answer on the channel, just head over to godordainedmarriages.com and click on the tab that says Contact Us, and you can send me your question from over there, okay? And also, while I'm pulling up the question, if this is your first time seeing me live, welcome. How you doing? Make sure you click the like button and subscribe to this channel and click that notification button as well, all right? Okay, here's the email. Hi, Taquila. I enjoy your videos. Scenario. God showed me my ordained spouse in a dream a couple of months ago, and he got in parentheses, a famous lady that I briefly met via a mutual friend about 2 to 3 years ago. I've been to her house, had a meal. We go to church together with the mutual friend, etc. Then we got separated and haven't seen her physically ever since. I got into a perfect 2-year relationship that ended in January this year. She ended it. 3 months later, God showed me my ordained spouse in 2 separate dreams, I believe. Never been so happy and eager to meet her again. And then he got in parentheses, the same lady I got separated from. The problem is I just found out via social media that my God-ordained spouse is seeing a famous and wealthy man's son, and they're pregnant. Distraught and confusion is what I'm going through. Counterfeit, recent breakup, who started texting me after a long time versus an expectant ordained spouse, not so sure anymore. So he's saying he's in a state where he's not so sure anymore because the counterfeit with her breaking up with him, and now she's starting back texting him after a long time, and now finding out his God-ordained wife is with this famous and wealthy man and pregnant. He ends with, I don't know what or who to pray for anymore. Okay, so thank you for your email. This is the first email I believe I got from a God-ordained husband. So husbands, okay, future husband, I do welcome your emails. bring them in. Okay. We don't want you all, out here trying to figure this out, suffering in silence or just feeling distraught. Okay. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Because you never know what you don't know. Okay. Hey, NC Beauty, thanks for joining us. So here's the thing. Okay. I hope you have pen and paper out because this is just how I teach. Get your pen and paper out. Okay. So you end with, I don't know what or who to pray for anymore. Well, you do know what to do. You do know who to pray for. You know how to move. It's just right now you need some encouragement, okay? Because you just seen your God-ordained wife with this famous man's son, and you just learned of her being pregnant, right? So it having you feeling confusion, okay? But let me break this down for you. So number one, okay, I want you to stop guessing what God has told you, okay? Stop second guessing God when the enemy starts to attack you. We must get in the habit of beginning to identify what is God and what is the enemy, okay? So when the enemy attacks you, that's not the time for you to second guess what God has said, because you got to understand the role or the purpose of the enemy. The enemy's job is to steal, kill, and destroy. The enemy comes into our life to do these things. So he's going to steal your hope. He's going to destroy. He's going to try to destroy any chance you can have with your God-ordained wife, okay? And he's going to try to kill this God-ordained love story, okay, if you let him, right? So understand that, okay? That is his job. So he's doing his job, okay? Now it's time for you to get back on your post and do your job, okay? So we're going to stop second guessing God when the enemy attack us. Now, one of the ways, let's talk about how do you build your faith, okay? Because this is what's missing. We got to, hold on for 1 second. Hey, turn that down. It sounds like I'm trying to talk over my son playing this, looking at this movie. So let's talk about how do I build my faith, okay? So that when the enemy attacks, because he's going to come, okay? Anything God ordained, the enemy is coming after it. When the enemy come, I need to have my faith so high to where I am unmovable. I am unshakable. So how do I begin to build my faith? Number one, I need you to write down, just go ahead and purchase a notebook, okay? Go purchase a notebook. Okay, I have several of these. This is a good time to do it because it's back to school season and they're like 19 cents right now. But purchase you you could call it a dream journal or whatever. But this is where you want to record all of the dreams God is giving you. When you record these dreams, hey, Sylvester, when you record these dreams, I want you to record the date of the dream. If you could get the time, record that as well, because God speaks to us through numbers. And record everything that the Lord is saying to you and showing you in the dream, okay? So that's number one. The second thing is in this journal, you want to also record whatever vision God give you, okay? Sometimes God speaks by giving you visions in the mind, right? Or images in the mind. Record that as well, because that is God speaking. Another thing is record any prophetic words, okay? You are receiving, okay? You want to have all of this in your journal, okay? Because when the enemy comes, you need something to refer to that can remind you of what God is saying or have been speaking to you, okay? So that's number one. I need you to record your dreams, visions, prophetic words, messages, okay? Second thing, I need you to step back and look at the bigger picture, okay? Because soon as I just read your email. Soon as I saw this, right, I began to, my mind kind of, I saw like God restructured the whole thing, right? So I need you to understand what God has been showing you and revealing to you, which is going to encourage your spirit. So listen, you said 2 to 3 years ago, you briefly met your God-ordained spouse. That was the introduction, right? I want you to write this down as I'm talking. 2 to 3 years ago, you briefly met your God-ordained spouse. I want you to put in parentheses, that was the introduction. God was introducing the two of you, okay? And he used that mutual friend to bring, the two of you into this introduction. Then you said afterwards, God showed you who your God ordained spouse is in a dream. So that was the revealing to you. I'm not sure if he told her yet, right? So God, he first did the introduction. Now he's revealing this is your wife in a dream to you. Okay. Next thing you said you said you've been at her house, had a meal. We go to church together, and we also had this mutual friend. Now God has moved you into building this friendship with her. Do you see what God is doing? He did the introduction. He revealed who she is to you. He's like, this not just some woman. This is your wife. Now he had y'all to start building on this friendship, and this mutual friend, she's a destiny helper. Okay, so when you see the picture, because this is what I saw when I read your email. When you see it this way, you could kick that devil out of your head, okay, that's coming in, bringing all this confusion and having you to second guess who is who, if I should pray or not. God is all in your love story. He's all up in this, okay? You just got to see it. This is why I'm having you to write this down, okay? So write it down the way how I'm giving it to you. Introduction. This is how God did the introduction. This is how God began to reveal this to me. Now he had us build a friendship. He's using this person, our mutual friend, as a destiny helper. Okay. Come on now. You can't say I don't see God in this. I see him. He's working. He's working. Okay. So that's number one. Hey, Andrew. Hey, Catherine. Hey, everyone. I'm trying to see who are on. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining, y'all. So that's number one. Number two, I need you to understand what divine separation means, okay? Because when we don't really understand divine separation, when God steps in and calls us to separate, from our God-ordained spouses, you must begin to understand what it means and how and what God is expecting of us, okay? Divine separation is for your protection, okay? Because God has already discerned the enemy in the camp, okay? So he's coming in, he separated you two. You got to ask God why he did the separation, okay? But I'm just giving you what it means. Sometimes divine separation is so that we can start healing, we can start growing and developing, right? He has to prepare us for our spouse. You said she's a famous lady. So I'm not sure where you're at on that, on that level. I'm not sure if you're ready for the famous life. If not, that's probably why God stepped in, did the divine separation, because he got to get you ready. He has to build your capacity to take on all of what comes along with this woman. Okay. He has to build you to be in the spotlight in this famous life. Okay. He got to build you for that, because if God just throw you into it and let you have her and you're not ready for it, or you don't have the capacity for it, it's going to overwhelm you. It's going to take you out. So he has to, come in and separate this thing. Okay. Another reason why divine separation happened is because God has plans on elevating you, right? So God always elevate you. He will separate you before he elevate you, okay, to that next level. So understand that now you did say your God-ordained wife is currently pregnant by the famous man's son. So we already know she's involved in a counterfeit relationship, and she's also involved in fornication, because you didn't tell me. I didn't hear you say anything about her being married to this man. So again, she's in sin. She's in darkness. Okay. And this could have also been the reason why God stepped in and did this divine separation. This is what we know. We don't know what's really going on behind the scene. Okay. So God stepped in and caused this divine separation. So he's protecting you from something. Okay. He's protecting you from getting your heart hurt, because he probably already seen this famous man's son in the picture somewhere. Okay. But also understand this. I need everyone to understand this. Okay. Listen up. Stop typing in the comment right quick. Listen up. When God put you in a divine separation with your God-ordained spouse, the biggest piece is protection, right? He's protecting you from the enemy. The enemy isn't your spouse. It's the spirit. It's the evil spirits that are in operation through your spouse, right? So when God say divine separation, you go over there, I'm having your spouse to go this way. That also means stop checking their social media. Because when we check their social media and we see things like this God-ordained husband saw, his God-ordained wife is with a famous man's son, now she's pregnant. Now you just open up the door to the enemy, and you just gave the enemy permission to attack you. See, before you looked at her social media, you was feeling good. You was up here. You was like, yes, this is my God-ordained wife. I just got out of this counterfeit relationship with this other lady over here. I'm standing, I'm praying. But as soon as you start looking at that social media, the enemy came in and he just punched you. Bam. Now you feeling confusion. Now you feeling distraught. Now you're considering going back to the counterfeit you just, broke up with. You stop praying. You second guessing what God has said to you. You see how the enemy comes in and attacks you and have you now questioning what God has told you and shown you. So we got to understand what divine separation means. Do not open up the door to the enemy. Don't look at their social media pages, okay? Because the enemy is in operation. The enemy is going to use their social media account to attack you, to cause you to give up because he doesn't want story coming together. Understand this, okay? Anna, thanks for joining. So we got to understand this, okay? So no looking at her social media pages. God needs you strong. He needs you full of faith. He needs you trusting because the enemy is trying to have you doubting. See, God is like faith, trust, belief. The enemy is like he's looking doubt, okay? Yes. He's bringing you down, confusion. You notice that it's confusion. God is not the author of confusion. You know that's the end. Right? Little internet trying to jump around. So no more looking at social media, okay? You open yourself. Okay. Number 3. You end with said, I don't know who to pray anymore. You know who to pray for. You got to pray for your God-ordained wife, okay? So get back in position as the God-ordained husband. Write down all those dreams I told you. Write down those dreams, the vision, prophetic word, your destiny helper. Write all these things down, reorganize it the way how I was telling you. God first did the introduction, revealing, and then he had y'all building friendship, and I identified the destiny helper. So begin to see how God is working on in this God-ordained love story. Allow that to build your faith back up, okay? And while your faith is being built back up, get back in your prayer closet because the enemy is trying to steal your wife. The purpose of the devil is to steal, kill, and destroy. Get back on your post, okay? Praying and intercession, not just for women, it's for husbands as well. Get back on your post because the devil is trying to steal your wife and he's trying to give her to his famous man's son. The devil is a lie. No, he can't have her. God needs you to have it. He can't have her, okay? Take it by force, okay? Get back on your prayer. Get back in your prayer closet. Begin to rebuke the counterfeit man. Bind that spirit of fornication. Pray for your salvation. Pray God will pour this prodigal life, counterfeit that's coming your way. That ex, rebuke her, not face, but in prayer, okay? Ask God to heal your heart and keep your spirit encouraged, okay? Rebuke the spirit of confusion that's coming to you. Rebuke the distraught, word set, distress, feeling devastated. All of these spirits, it's trying to attack you and overtake you with these evil demonic spirits. So it's time to fight back, okay? Stand on what God said. What did God tell you? God showed you in your dream. That's what you believe over everything. That's what you believe even when you had those weak moments and you go check the social media. I don't care how many counterfeits pop up. I don't care. God said, this is your God-ordained wife. End the story. When God say this is your God-ordained spouse, He speaks the end in mind. So he's telling you, this your wife, and it's going to end in marriage. He's telling you that. We just got to get through this in-between stuff. And God, he's so strategic because he's taking you through this in-between stuff because number one, he want to show you some things in this whole story. He want to reveal himself to you and to her, your wife. He want to show you how powerful you are in prayer. He want to show you that the enemy is already defeated. Okay. He want to show you something. He want to show you he has your back. He want to show you, the favor he found in your wife. Okay. For you, it's so many different things that God want to show you, but you can't allow the enemy to cause you to give up. Get back on your post. Understand the enemy is trying to steal your wife from you, okay, and give you a counterfeit. Counterfeit causes delays and they block you from your blessings. Counterfeit bring confusion. You don't want no counterfeit. You want the real thing, okay? So get back on your post and begin to rebuke the enemy off of this God-ordained love story, all right? Okay, I saw, thank you, Sylvester. I saw my screen popping in and out. I rebuke that enemy in the name of Jesus Christ. Get off my internet services. Okay, let me see what y'all write. Let's see. If this is your first time tuning in, hey, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video. All right, stay connected. Stay connected to the channel. Catherine said, I've been working with my AirPods on. Let's see. So I had a vision. I was doing skin to skin with my baby. Our birth and it's here. Come on, you better say it. Come on with it. Yeah. Yes, say yes. And my husband and I texting in the dream. I was hiding and he recognized me. It's time to come out of hiding. Okay, no more hiding. No more hiding. Your husband is waking up. He is coming to look for you. He coming to find you. Okay, no more hiding. In the text, it was a big 11:11. Come on now. Borderline saying I'm a trans, and after my transition, God showed himself to me as a trans man. He told me I am accepted for I am. Okay. Yeah. I have to get back to work to watch the replay. Okay, cool. Thanks for joining us, Catherine. I know that's right. She said I got to get back to work and save up for my wedding dress. Go pick out them wedding dresses, okay? Thank you, Taquila. Oh, the screen is starting to jump. Wait a minute. You're welcome, Borderline. I think we get attacked so much by the enemy, we don't even realize sometimes that it's an attack. I know, and that's why I wanted to come on live with my phone charger for one. But that's why I put a lot of emphasis on divine separation and understanding what it means and why God came in and caused this divine separation, because he's protecting us from the enemy, right? And then we got to have, just like you were saying, we got to have understanding and awareness into, how the enemy attacks us, right? And this is how he attacks us when we start looking at their social media pages. God says separate for a reason. He don't even want you checking up on them, right? He don't. He wants you focus on God, focus on what God is telling you to do. I'm gonna tell you what God said when I was going through this process. Because when you're checking their social media, it can become an addiction. You become obsessed with it and stuff. And God stepped in. He was like, "Let the dead bury the dead." God be so blunt. He was like, "Let the dead bury the dead," and it threw me off guard. And it took me about 2 weeks to understand what he was saying. When you are a prodigal, you're spiritually dead. So God was saying to me, why are you checking on something that's dead? Why are you checking on something that's dead? Follow me, Taquila, and that's what we must begin to understand. They're prodigal. Let the dead bury the dead, okay? It's God who's going to step in and raise them back up to life. Hey, Teresa. Yes, the enemy just wants use distraction, but we cast down every thought that bring itself against the knowledge of God. Amen. This chat is just jumping everywhere. Taquila has been nominated as the most accepting preacher of the transsexual community, and we are so honored. Congrats on the award. Okay, thank you. Um, the enemy wants to use distraction. That's right. All right, Catherine, don't you get don't get in trouble at that job. Uh, Angela said I had two dreams. One, he was driver getting in car. He was driving, getting in the car, drive off. I let him go ahead because it was too quick. I wasn't. Yeah, my kids be writing on my screen and I can't really see. I wasn't on a line. Is that what I said? Times. Next dream, just his face smiling, and I knew God was talking. Yeah. So what are you getting from that dream, Angela? It's every time I feel down, I want to check on her. Yeah, and you got to understand too, because we can feel our spouse's feelings, their emotions. So every time you feeling down, that's not always your emotion. That's not always you feeling that way. That could be how she's over there feeling. So you know, no checking. No checking. If he blocked you on Snapchat, just let it go. Let the dead bury the dead. Yes. Why am I trying to dig up a coffee every time? That's right. I found myself checking him social media too much. I unfollowed him, did request a baby. Now, I'm so glad you said that, Anna. Now, this is what we don't realize. We don't understand, right? I did the same thing. Let me tell you what this is communicating to him. Because like Anna said, when she find herself checking on her God-ordained spouse's social media pages, she will unfollow him and then request him back a few weeks later. So when you request him back a few weeks later, in his mind, she's emotionally unstable. No one's coming into a God-ordained marriage with an emotionally unstable person. Now, I'm not saying you are, but this is how we show up in their eyes, okay? So again, you got to find a way, are you going to check or are you going to unfriend, and just choose, pick which one it is and, let it be, okay? I totally get it. But I had to realize, like, I'm showing up this way, right? Like, okay, I got to stop all this because I didn't want to communicate that message to, my God ordained spouse. And I know you don't want to communicate that to him as well. How are we able to feel our spouse emotions? Because you are already one in the spirit. That's why God, you got to understand this. When God, I don't know when he told you this, but when God told you, go ahead and stand and pray for your God ordained husband, God already see y'all married. The believing spouse sanctifies the unbelieving spouse, right? You already married. So God said, go on in there and pray for your husband to sanctify him, right? So when God has already married us in the spirit, right? And God might give you dreams of you and your spouse getting married, or might have shown you dreams of your spouse proposing to you. That is a clue that God has already married the two of you in the spirit realm. Okay? So God see y'all already married. You're one, okay? You become one flesh. So I think I told you this, Catherine, when we was in our one-on-one session, but if not, I'll say it again. However way you show up, however way the believing spouse shows up in this God-ordained love story, is how your God-ordained prodigal spouse is going to show up. So I'll give you an example. If God has told us stop checking, right? We're gonna focus in on the checking. If God has told us to stop checking our God-ordained prodigal spouse's social media pages, right? But we're wrestling with God. we might stop checking for a week only to peak again the next week, right? And then we try to go back. We be like, okay, I'm done, right? Because we wrestling with what God has told us. When you look at your prodigal spouse, you're going to see how they wrestling with being obedient to the Lord. You're going to see how they wrestling with deciding on if they should leave this counterfeit or come back to you. So the same way you wrestling with God, they wrestling with God. Do you understand this? So however way the believing spouse show up is how your prodigal spouse is going to show up. When you say, I release control, I'm being obedient to the Lord, I'm about to go ahead and just focus on me, stop checking, that's when you're going to see a shift in your God-ordained prodigal, where they're going to just, it's like a mindset shift, but they're going to say, okay, all right. I done wasted enough time. Let me go ahead and lead these counterfeit relationships, right? You're going to start seeing things change. But it's determined upon how you show up. This is why God say separate. And I don't know how God talked to y'all, but God is so clear with me. He be checking all the time. I can't get away with nothing. Okay. God was like you. Out the kitchen. And because I kept looking at, things of that nature. He was like, get out the kitchen and put this thing up for you. Okay. Look like it's still done. Wait a minute. He was like, get out of the kitchen, okay? Because I kept checking, looking, only to get mad and hurt all over again, right? I was opening myself up to the enemy, right? And so God had to kick me out. He was like, get out of the kitchen, and then he told me, he said, listen, the wrestling stops with me, okay? It stops here. I'm not going to go back and forth with you, Taquila. He said this to me. And when God talked like that to me, I'd be like, okay, I get in line, okay? Because I fear God. So however way you show up is how they're going to show up, okay? If you want to see them walk themselves out of these counterfeit relationship, you must begin to become one with this promise. You got to stop doubting what God said to you. You got to stop allowing the enemy to cause you to doubt or give up, and you got to stop speaking against this, okay? For them to walk out of these counterfeit relationship, they need to see confidence in the believing spouse. They need to see she really believed in stuff. Like she really, or he or she really believe God. They walking this out. They really believe I am their spouse, because the same way how you might be doubting if, because sometimes when God revealed who our spouse is, we can feel intimidated. It can shock you. You could be like, I don't know if I'm good enough for it, right? But when you say, that's my husband right there, that's my wife, when you can say that with full confidence and you just unshakable, unmovable, they have no other choice but to come into agreement with it. So they're going to start kicking them counterfeits on. They're going to move away from them. I'm going back home to my God-ordained spouse, right? It's all determined upon how you show up. This is why I put together that boot camp, because I'm like, look, get it together. We gotta prepare, okay? You want to see all this up and down, all of this back and forth? Stop with your God-ordained prodigal spouse. It depends on how you show up. Okay? So I'd have lost my spot. Hold up. Okay, here it is. Okay, so I was answering when you said, how are we able to feel our spouse emotion? Because we are one with them. We already married to them in the spirit realm, and we are one. So we could feel what they're feeling. I'm assuming he missed me like crazy, because who wouldn't? But he got a lot of pride. He miss you. They just know how to, not communicate it. God was telling me divine separation was coming and be okay with it. And second dream, he confirmed God ordained to keep praying. Okay, cool. Yeah. Because God has your best interest at heart. He has your best interest at heart, and he's separating this because he got some more work to do. He got to go over there. A prodigal stopped believing in God. A prodigal start serving the devil. So God said, okay, I got to go over here and show my son or daughter I am their father. I got to give them a little spanking, and show them I am your father. You're going to get back in order. It's the same way when you got children. They get out of line. They want to stay out all night. Okay. You want to test me? Okay. I'm going to get you back in order. Right. So that's how I see it, because I have children. So it's the same way. God is like, I got to reveal some things to my son or my daughter. I got to show them that they are with the wrong one, and how the wrong one is dragging them into this lifestyle that is making them an enemy to me. So he just got to show them something. It's so true. Sometimes it's their feelings we feel spiritually. Yeah. Anna say, I get. Oh, we got two Annas. Okay, hey. I get visions, and this morning, as I was waking up, I saw a flash vision of the back of my husband's truck, toxin me and separate. Okay, write your visions down, Anna. Because sometimes when God give us a vision or a dream, he might not be done talking. So this is why you want to write all these dreams and visions down, because God will begin to unfold, just by giving you several dreams, what he is trying to say to you. Anna, yeah. Yeah. Oh, your God-ordained spouse confirmed to you that he could feel you emotionally. Wow, that's good. There you go. Yeah, you better. What did I say? Stop playing with me. Hey, Radiant Son, just catch the replay when we end. My husband has always claimed I was his God-given wife, and he refuses to let me go. Yet he is an abusive narcissist, and I want out. I I know exactly how it feels to live with a narcissistic individual. I just want you to know this, Adam, okay? That God doesn't want you being abused, okay? Because your husband has I know what comes with narcissistic. Your husband has forfeited his rights, okay, to be followed as head of the marriage, as a leader, all of these things, okay? So your husband, Anna, is God. So I want to direct you back to your Heavenly Father, your husband, your first husband. And I want you to pray and ask God, like, is this your will for me to stay in this narcissistic, abusive marriage with this man? Just ask him. He will tell you. And sometimes God, when he talk back to us, when he answer us, he don't answer us with yes or no. He give you like he'll talk to you in different ways, but in a way where you will understand it. Okay. Like when he told me, get out of the kitchen. I knew what he was saying to me. But it's not God's will for you to be abused, because narcissistic individuals, they have you feeling not good enough. They're very critical of you, put you in position to seek after their attention. I mean, it's just very abusive and toxic. That's not the will of God. Okay. So go back to God. Stay right there. Go back to God and pray, okay, regarding this marriage, and I mean, you never know. God might tell you to start praying for your husband. Understand, dealing with being married to a narcissistic husband, God can shake him clean of all of those evil spirits. So that's not too hard for God. Okay, he could take your husband from being a Saul and make him into a Paul. Okay, but it's going to first start with you going to your Heavenly Father, and whatever instruction he gives you, you got to follow it. Okay. He said, y'all drop your question. Please don't be shy. Holy Spirit in here answering through his children. Thank you, Sebastian. When can we tell our spouse that God revealed them to us? You don't have to tell them. You really don't. Just wait until, what is it? What you want? My phone? Okay, hold on. Here. Okay. You don't have to tell your God-ordained spouse, that God said that they are your spouse or I'm your wife. You don't got to tell them that. Just wait for God to wake them up. Okay. Wait for God to wake them up, because when he wake them up, they're gonna come back finding you. They're gonna already know, like, that's my wife, okay? Because here's the thing: when you tell them, God said, "You're my God-ordained spouse," or "I'm your God-ordained wife," if they haven't gotten the message, or let's say God did tell them who you are, but they still going back and forth, they wavering, right? They not 100% certain or in agreement with what God has said. When we tell them, you're going to find more heartache and pain. They're going to meet you with more rejection. Okay. You're going to see that they're still choosing the counterfeit, because now you are coming across as, she's trying to force me into, marrying her. So this is why we always want to wait on God. Wait for God to do the revealing. Right. And you might scare them off. Wait for God to do the revealing, and wait for them to just, he the man. Let him come back and pursue you. Okay. You just stay in position. You can tell him you knew 3 years ago, once he come back and he has proposed to you, and y'all, things has changed while y'all in conversation. You could be like, "Oh yeah, God told me who you were, 3 years ago." That's when you insert that. But right now, let your husband come back to you. And I say, what is going on when we know who our spouse is, but we still question if this is the person you want to be with? I had this moment the other day, and it was unsettling. Anna, you're dealing with inner healing issues, okay? And this is where you have to ask yourself, okay, why am I still questioning if who this person is? You have to get down to the bottom of it. I can only speak for myself. When God revealed to me this was my God ordained spouse, I immediately felt intimidated. Okay. I felt intimidated because I was more focused on his outside appearance. And I knew what type of lifestyle he lived. I was like, I don't know if I can handle that. I don't know if I'm equipped, to like take on what comes with him. That's where my intimidation was coming from. And so, and he felt intimidation, for his own reasons, right? So, but in that divine separation, God built me, okay? He built me to take on him, to be able to handle him, and I no longer feel it. So you have to ask yourself, why am I still questioning, what God has told me? Don't look at the fact that they are a prodigal and how they showing up, and how they with these counterfeits, how they might be critical or abusive or whatever. Don't look at that, because God gonna get them together. That's not gonna go into your marriage. But if it's something else that's caused you to question this, that's something that's going on with you, which also means it's going on in them. Okay. You see how I just said I felt intimidated, but he also had some intimidation as well. See that? So you wanna get to the bottom of that. I'm sure her ear off where how I knew when she's back home. I know that's right. Ah. Before, I didn't know what visions were. I thought I was overly obsessed, dreamy of my husband, and wanted to go get. Oh nah. And then see, y'all got to understand too that if for some of you, if you don't know your calling, if you don't know your assignment, if you don't know your spiritual gift, what the things that God placed on the inside of you, this is why God is speaking to you in this way. He's trying to help you to understand. For some of you, you might be prophets. For some of you, you might be he's showing you different spiritual gifts, he put in you that you are to use when you get in this marriage. When I think about it, the craziest How I Met Your Mother story for our future kids. You don't got to give them the whole story. Just, oh, God brought us together, skip over some parts. I didn't know we were going to have a divine separation. I thought it was it and was playing wifey, scrubbing his toilet. I know. Don't play wifey to your God-ordained spouse when God reveals them to you. Because they're gonna just take advantage of it. They're gonna let you play wifey, but they're not gonna see your value. Okay, it's gonna be a lot of overlooking, rejection. You're gonna feel mistreated, used, you know. So don't do that. And also the same thing with God ordained husband. But truly, God given us free reign to better our lives and be on our purpose with our divine separation. That's right. Mm-hmm. Yep. So understand, when God places you in a divine separation, he's telling you hands off. Okay. Hands off. Let him do the cooking, because you got to understand, when you put your hand on it, this love story. And when I say you put your hand on it, when we're checking, we got our hand on it. When we trying to, like I got her damn husband, when you trying to lead it, right? You try to lead her up out of these counterfeit relationship, you got your hand on it, right? When we doing these things, we are now operating with a spirit of control. And what is witchcraft? Control and manipulation, right? This is why God is like, get out of the kitchen. That's what he said to me. Get out of the kitchen, because where there is sin, God can't be in the midst of it. So when you have your hand on it, God removes his hand, and he's waiting on us. He's like, okay, I'm waiting on you to move so I can get back in here and cook this thing up for you, right? So just understand that part. So I'm thankful for the divine separation. It's almost 2 months now, and I learned to let go and trust the God. You got it good. 2 months, girl, coming up on 2 years. You got it good. That's good, though. That's good. That is good. Yeah. So listen, like I was saying earlier at the beginning of this live, our marriage prep boot camp, it is starting next month. If you're not already signed up, there's the link right there, scrolling at the bottom. God-ordainedmarriages.com/boot camp. Sign up, okay? You got to get prepared, okay? You have to prepare. That's why God put me here, to help prepare his God-ordained spouses to enter into this marriage, okay? Understand, if you're not prepared, he's not going to release them. You got to understand this. He's not going to release them, because he want what he is already preparing for you to stay together for life, okay? The same way how he stepped in and caused this divine separation, because he see the prodigal is living in darkness. If he see his God-ordained believing spouse not prepared, he going to keep giving you dreams. Get ready. He going to keep speaking to you in your dream, and you're going to keep wondering, why is it taking God so long? Because he waiting on you. So get prepared, okay? So we're going to go ahead and end this live. Again, if you all have a question, just head over to the website, God-ordainedmarriages.com, and click on the tab that says Contact Us. Send me your questions from over there. I'm going to come back on here because we got another teaching I'm going to do on basically how to know, the voice of God, because we're going to put an end to all of this. I think I heard God. I believe. No. I need you to know for sure, okay, for certainty that this is God speaking to you. So we're going to come back on here with a live teaching on that. In the meantime, everyone have a great afternoon, and I'll talk to you all real soon. Take care.